live, gentlemen, on the Rumble and the YouTube. And I would like to welcome everybody to the fourth meeting of the Four Horsemen. Thank you all for being here. You guys know, and if you don't know, to my right-hand side in the wooden room, vision preparedness. Right underneath me down here, the roaming prepper. To my immediate right, the Livingston man. I am Hudson Valley prepping and survival. And Livingston man, could you roll that beautiful beam footage? Maybe not.
No footage.
Your face is absolute trash. Rumble, do better.
Apocalypse now, four horsemen riding dirty. Death on my left, keep the Glock sturdy. Standing in the kitchen, hunger like a beast. War paint ready, unleash the inner beast. Pestilence drop, spread fear in the streets. Disease hit the block, no dot can compete. Horseman information, skies turning black. Future looking bleak, no turning back. Four horsemen riding on the edge of night. Chaos in the wake, no end in sight. Four horsemen bringing dark to the light. End days marching, get ready for the fright. Four horsemen riding on the edge of night. Chaos in the wake, no end in sight. Four horsemen bringing dark to the light. End days marching, get ready for the fight.
And welcome back.
Everybody, let's all take a deep breath. Holy shit.
That was thank you, Livingston man, for that intro right there. We worked on that the past week and finally got it all ironed out for tonight. That's pretty fast.
I never heard you tracking headphones before, dude. That shit is huge.
I'm ready to pay you to make me a new intro because that right there
shit like that
is fire.
I'm a big YouTube songwriter around here. I'm gonna tell you what, I didn't really do much on that one.
He did much on.
We stitched a video together, but listen, that was AI. But am I AI? We'll never know. So
well, that's right.
You're Livingston Net 1.0.
It's true.
The original.
No, it's got to be 1.7 by now. You've been upgraded.
I got these botched ass upgrades from his workbench that he
listen. Man.
I was built in 1948, but I have a USB-C port where everybody else is.
Listen, the Russian hacker that I ran into that helped me put the cord together. Okay, just your charging cord alone was a feat of its own thing. Okay, so you're lucky you're even here. Could you bring the chat up for us, Livingston man?
Constant validation.
I just want to say hello to
Is
Loretta
anybody out there?
Moonsprouts.
Also, Rumble, please
Levi
make the
Kroll,
chat
what's good?
auto
Celtic
scroll. I
Grandma.
don't know why you are like this.
Yeah, I know
you're
Mine's
listening.
auto scrolling. I don't know.
Mine's auto scrolling.
All right, cool. Foxfire, good to see you. Grit and Grace says 5x5. Awesome. I'm glad it's all. Everybody's coming through.
Oh, it is auto scrolling. Okay, maybe just don't touch it.
Don't touch it, Livingston.
Yeah, don't touch it.
Down on that arrow.
All right. Mike, you got to do the thing where you say hi to everybody.
I did. Well, I'm trying. You get. Oh my God, I'm going to throw up. You keep moving that thing. Jules, good to see you. Moonsprouts, Max 60, Ed Benoit, Canadian, what's good? Betty Lou in the house. Smoking Swamp, Live, Laugh, Love, Mackie. Oh my God, it's scrolling. I'm going to throw up, Livingston. The Dark Horseman. It is indeed dark. It's getting dark early, man. It's getting dark early. The days are getting shorter, gentlemen. That means our preparations for fall need to step it into high gear here. I'm currently prepping for winter myself. I hope you guys are doing the same and trying to get ahead of it. And it always seems that there's so much work to do this time of year. It's like nonstop. it's running. And I'm a big time hunter, so I'm also trying to scout and things like that at the same time. And man, I am just so crammed for time anymore. It's crazy. It's crazy. But our big topic here for this evening was brought up by somebody in the chat last night. I did a live stream and folks were throwing out ideas, man. Folks were throwing out all kinds of great ideas. And one of them I got was from Casey Little Owl, who wanted to know when we thought it was time to go gray man as far as SHTF is concerned. Is that something that we should do like right off the rip, or is that something that you need to gather your tribe and then like slowly blend into it? It begs the question, and as we say that preparedness is extremely personal, and everybody's answer should probably be a little bit different. I'm so interested to hear what everybody has to say tonight. That's a big thing. So Vision, what are your thoughts, bro? What do you think? When is it time to put the patches away, bro? When is it time?
So here's
Listen, it hurts
about
to do that.
First, let me say this. Thank you for hosting, Mike. I appreciate it. And I like us not knowing the topics beforehand. I like that.
Yeah, I think it's a good idea, and we just spring them on each other, right? Why not?
So
Makes the wheels
for me, to go gray man would be after I gather my people, and everybody's at the bug end location. Everybody's accounted for, and from there we go gray man, especially if we have to go out to acquire things. Technically, we shouldn't, but if we do, then we go gray man and, dress accordingly. But again, dress accordingly.
Yeah.
Oh, I agree. Pete,
so
what
I
do you
say,
brother?
Well, I'll tell you what I did. I had to go South America, actually, a couple of years ago. Buenos Aires. Had never been there. And I speak the language and without much of an accent. So that's a good thing. Didn't know what they dress like. So I went on Google Maps and I did Street View and I went around the city and I was like, okay, they kind of dress like we do. It wasn't anything way off base. And I dressed accordingly. To Trent's point, in my mind, you kind of want to feel the room, and it's going to evolve, right? In my part of Texas, flag on your shirt and gun starts. Nobody blinks an eye to that. I go to Austin with this, and I'm a fascist. I go to Denver. I'm the devil. So kind of know your geography, know what the culture is like where you are. To Trent's point, though, if you right out the bat, I wouldn't go too extreme one way or the other, because you might actually call attention to yourself if you dress like the Grim Reaper with the poncho and everything, and the
and it wasn't a costume part,
redemption cape and all of that. But you come out and you kind of read the society, read the streets you're on, and say, wow, everybody's starting, they're starting to look a little emaciated, looking a little red. I'm going to not shave for a week. So I look like them. I'm going to let my clothes get a little dirty. And you kind of follow and just blend gently in. I think if we go to extremes too soon, they'll be like, why the hell is that guy dressed like that? He looks like a hobo. Now everyone's paying attention to you.
Yeah.
But it's hard. It evolves, honestly.
Absolutely. I think that that's probably the best explanation I've heard yet, Pete. That was fantastic. Livingston, man, your thoughts. Or is it?
I have an interesting, unique theory about this because it's something like what I already do. I'm the guy that wears the blaze orange shirt and carries the ladder, and it's like I'm here to fix the lights, and they're like, "Go ahead." Talk about gray man, like I am one, and there's so many of me in that regard. Like there's so many where I'm from, as Pete pointed out. Read the geography. I mean, I don't have to I wrote the fucking geography. I am the gangster man.
It's the geography.
But that's what everybody looks like around here. Everybody's
Mm.
some workman, some tradesman, whatever. We all
Absolutely.
wear Carhartt and, you know, high vis colors. And I have been dying. I don't have the nerve to do it, but I really want to just take, like I said, just like put my work clothes on, get a little bag of tools and a ladder. And I feel like I would be really surprised at the places I could just go.
Yeah.
And especially if you're willing to bluff your way through it. Listen, you want to call Jim upstairs and fucking straighten all this out. Fine. I got to go fix stuff right now. So you get him on the phone. I'm going where I got to go. And people will be like, okay, whatever. You know what I mean? I feel like that you're almost hiding in sight.
You bring a good point, because if you need to get access to something, a great way to do it, you put a high vis vest and you show up with like a mask and a survey meter, like a Landau, you know, basically a radiation meter, and get one of those little radiation tokens you use to test the meter, which is largely harmless. And you just walk around and go, hey, there's some radiation here. Y'all should leave. Everybody's going to go, right? And then you just like put the thing back in its little holder and then you go and get what you need. You can not only be gray, you can dress to almost deceive.
Yeah.
And become less appealing or more scary, depending on what you need.
I'm not advocating to do anything. This is all speculation. We're playing pretty.
This is all for your entertainment.
I'm telling you, around here, if you could put on like a blaze orange freaking vest and have a road cone, you could direct traffic and get people they'll just instinctually do what you tell them to do.
That could end badly.
You know, the guy in the vest said, go over here. They will. I'm sure of it. So there you got that up your sleeve. You almost hide in plain sight. Gray man, like orange man. Yeah. Like that human traffic cone over there, and nobody notices him. But in fact, do what he says.
Yeah, you just got to carry a shovel or something. You know, you got to look really official.
Look official.
So my take on the whole gray man thing, bro, unfortunately our cats are out of the bag. We're on YouTube, man. I think you know, people know the word is out. We're preppers and everybody's coming to our house. So the gray man thing is kind of out the window for me. I don't know if I'd be able to shake it, guys, honestly.
You know what? I was going to I don't mean to interrupt you.
No, go ahead.
On where you're at right here is that because you're hinting at like some like niche internet celebrity thing, like people know who you are. Well, I see it like, and I say it to Mrs. Livingston every morning at the store. I'm like, yo, every fucking dude looks like Mike. Like you're just the quintessential like that dude I'm talking about.
I'm the token white guy. I'm sorry.
Yeah, and you may not be as recognizable as you think you are. I see like 6 dudes every day. Pete gets it. Why is Trent laughing?
And you know, also keep in mind you could change your appearance, right? We could grow out. I could grow a damn Mufasa beard like nobody's business. You know, I look like Ahab.
If you took it off.
Look at this, but imagine all around, and then I'll wear something on my head, and I'll look like Stoney the drunk. But that's you can change your appearance. I can't color my hair on my head because I have none. But it's
yeah.
And for me, I would just shave off all my hair and take my hat off and just walk around in like a blue gown. And they say, "Oh, he's
you shave your eyebrows."
Shave my eyebrows, everything.
Yeah. Talk about gray man. See, like that plays in, like I was talking about, like, just acting like almost like an authority figure. You belong there. Trent's going a different route. He's like, you don't want me here.
No,
everybody's gonna stay away from
leave him alone.
Yeah, exactly. There's so many ways. God damn it. It makes me sick every time you do that.
Wear a biohazard gown.
Yes.
They'll be like, oh, run away.
That's it. Well, your gray man could be your defense mechanism at the same time. That's.
But I've known when it came up about I hate the word homeless people, but I'm going to use it because I can't think of a better one. Homeless people, and everybody socially, medially advocates for the homeless. Oh my God, I praise. I got thoughts and I got prayers and with them. Right. I hope they find the help that they need. But then around here in the Dutchess, Columbia County area, now what's happening is that indeed there's some homeless folks around, and people ain't happy. This is like that. This is
like
that
upset about
sanctuary
it.
city thing where they're like, we stand with the migrants, but then when the migrants show up, they were like not here.
Yeah,
And
you
it's the
guys
same
have
thing.
me.
And people beyond the community groups all full of hate. We need to get this area. Gonna lower my property values. This, that, and the other thing. And God, and I don't know what to think of it. But yeah, you talked about like when if you're like, you act like the homeless guy, everybody points at you. And like, that's what was happening. Like they were putting these folks on like blast. Look, another homeless guy sighting. Look at this, you guys. And like, it was turning into this shit show that sucked, like, because all y'all people so willing to help until you actually have to or should.
Yeah.
And then you're like,
Until
Well,
it's
I
in-
mean, look at what happened in Martha's Vineyard when our funny governor over here was like, oh, you like people coming in illegally, we'll send you 2 747s full and drop them in your bougie neighborhood. And then they ran them off within 48 hours. And this lady in a mink is going, Buena suerte, le amos. No, you don't ama nada, vieja. No, you don't want them there. You're talking, but
Yeah. In actuality, nobody's opening up their home to these people.
right. And this is not what I'm describing is not some influx of 10,000 culturally ignorant migrants. This is like one in fact, allegedly is a pregnant woman. But still, well, you know what? You know why must be that she can't get DSS because she must have abused him. Everybody throwing out accusations, acting like they know some shit. This is only like two or three.
And these were local, like homeless folks.
Yeah. Not and the one case, the dude was like a little crazy and probably should have been like put in some sort of supervised environment.
Right.
But the other two is apparently like this normal guy who don't bother nobody and sleeps on the church bench, and a housing deprived pregnant woman, and everybody got to judge and talk mad shit. And
it sucks, man. It sucks. It shows you the degradation of society, how low we've actually fallen.
Yep.
It sucks, but it's everywhere, man.
It's also
it is, and I blame the mafia media because all it does is desensitize people. That's all it does is desensitize and monsterize, somebody that needs some type of help.
Yeah. Everybody's the bad man. They need a bad guy to point the finger at and to blame everything on. Honestly,
I'll be the bad guy.
Tony Montana.
Say good night to the bad guy.
Need people.
And
you need people like him. Point fingers.
That was before he said, "Say hello to my little friend." Remember that?
Exactly.
And get him out of order because it doesn't make sense then.
That's true.
Homie set off like what is that? I think what is that? Is that a 40mm grenade launcher inside his house? Like,
exactly. He lets off a 40mm grenade right in the house. Yes.
I can't stand watching TV anymore. Like, it's good television. Some shows are great and stuff, but I'm that guy. I'm like, oh, right. Like especially people fire like a gun in the car. I'm like, everyone is deaf. Everyone is absolutely deaf.
Yeah.
Nobody can.
Oh God. Yeah, that's the only noise you hear.
They act like it's not mad loud and like it's so weird. Like when you start breaking your TV shows, you realize the simulation,
the explosions, and they're walking away all cool. A car backfires and people are like jump and the cat runs away. It's like, come on, guys.
That's them Hollywood badasses. You got to walk away from something.
But you're talking about the local homeless folks. That's a good reference point if you had to go gray or go incognito, which I think are different. Because gray is all the time gray. If I need to go somewhere and I'm leaving my home area and I want to blend in over here for about a day and get my friend out or whatever, then you kind of go in incognito and looking at how they set up their little homes, how they attire, you replicate that.
They're light years ahead of all us privileged folks. I'm going to tell you that right now.
Oh, yeah.
They live in the so-called wasteland. Their shit done had hit the fan, everybody. Yep. But you don't want them in your town. But I mean, that's what, the life, and you think you're bugging out, you think you're going to live that life. If you're in the position we're talking about here, like you got to I'm passing through and I need to like live with the homeless. Listen, your shit has done hit the fan too. And you probably got a lot of shit you can learn from these folks. I'm starting to think.
Absolutely.
They don't live like us. You ain't gonna live like you either. Get over it.
That's a truth bomb. I think they're the probably the most easily adaptable to SHTF because they're already, you know, without very much. So you know, scavenging off the land, so to speak. I see them no different than like a hunter gatherer. You know, if you were an urban hunter gatherer at this point. You know, that's what SHTF may look like for some folks in the city is exactly what the homeless folks are dealing with now, only less resources and you know, nothing new being created for you to pilfer from. So I don't know, man. I don't know.
That's true.
They're the most easily adaptable to it, but probably the first to succumb to it because nobody's going to be. There'll be no more donations. You know what I mean? Nobody's dropping them off a sandwich anymore because it's just.
But I think you may also see them disperse. You know, like I know this analogy is terrible, but you know, like you have coyotes or bears go to certain areas because their humans leave stuff that they want to have.
Yep.
Not that they're not human, but they're not dumb. If there's like no resource to be had, they're going to be like, okay, this is getting belligerent and there's no resource. Let's disperse. And they'll very quickly go away. And you look what happened when the 2020 riots, right? The Antifa guys were burning their little houses and their tent cities. I mean, these folks were legitimately homeless. They had been displaced. And these were our citizens who were in bad times. They were just tearing up their stuff and the, you know, poor homeless folks are crying. And they dispersed. They left that area because there was no resource. There was danger. I really think observing some of what they do, how they get around, could be enlightening for a lot of us.
That's true.
You're talking the total survival situation. Like I said, you're talking about bugging out. You're talking about going living in the wasteland with like, you know, with nothing but yourself and your community. Like they're the ones who are doing it, folks. Whether you want to go and live with them and learn their ways is up to you. But yeah, that's the real story of like homeless folks. And, you know, and statistically, let's be a majority of them choose to live this way. Yes, it's forced on, but they choose to live this way. The sense of the freedom, the whatever, they've abandoned society. It's not, but in return, society has abandoned them. This whole, whatever this, there's a presidential debate tonight, and I was not invited to the fucking stage.
That's right. Livingston Man 2020.
And you're about to find out why.
Exactly. And that's okay. I'm still voting for you.
This whole there's like one class of Americans and then another class of them, and then indeed a third class in this judge and caste system here, which is, let's face it, based on your financial and economic situation. Absolutely. The issue here is not race. The issue here is not foreign intervention. The problem every person in America either can or will not admit is it's about how much money you got and who you know. And not only that, the entire world is figuring this out. There's no way this system that is occurring today can sustain itself at all. This is unsustainable. 11 dudes soak up all the money and we keep giving it back, and it's supposed to trickle down, but it doesn't. And that analogy alone implies being pissed on, and I hate it. And the whole damn rotten house has had enough caulk and plaster and patch, and it needs to be bulldozed to the fucking ground and rebuilt. Enough is enough. America, it fucked up. Do it again.
Well, and you know, you bring out a point, because what we've done is create an aristocracy out of the aristocrats, out of the oligarchs. You have, it's like you pointed out, it's not, I mean, you could go and point out millionaires and billionaires of all different cultures and colors, but that delta between them and the common people has gotten big. And you used to be vertically mobile, right? If you worked real hard, you can make wealth, get some investment property, move up. You still can, but it's not the way it used to be.
No way.
and
It's so
it's
much
actually becoming harder because the interest rates and
Mhm.
supply chain and where who controls all those levers.
gains
It's not any of
tax.
us. Yeah. No,
Yeah.
unrealized gains tax. That
Wait,
one.
wait,
Oh my. Anyway.
That's the one part of the debate that I'm looking forward to this evening is seeing exactly what the Democrats' plan is, because so far I've heard nothing of policy, nothing of their economic vision for America, none of that. I've just heard that the orange man is bad and we should like Kamala now. That's all I get from it, and I'm just not. I'm not seeing any substance to their party line is the thing.
Nope. And you won't.
I honestly, so that was something that I wanted to discuss tonight with everybody too, is the poll numbers. I think the polling numbers that they're putting out are skewed polls, that they're going to these liberal sites and asking who's voting for Kamala. And what you're finding is, they say that 51, she's 51%. Well, she's 51% of the liberals are going to vote for her, because we know from the last presidential debates, a few years ago, that nobody wants Kamala Harris.
No.
This is Hillary Clinton again. They pushed out the old white guy and pushed this woman front and center, who nobody asked for. It's not like or dislike. It's that like there was no primary, there was none of the like the selection process. Like this is.
I disagree on one count. Hillary could actually make coherent sentences. She was a decent debater. I'll give her that. I don't think she did well against her opponent at the time. I don't think we're going to see a Hillary or Obama or Clinton or Reagan level debate here.
No. And let it be said that I, of all the people I dislike, I actually don't dislike Kamala Harris as much as I dislike Hillary Clinton, because I would love to lob shots at Kamala Harris and like break down her agenda, this and everything, except there isn't one. And
there's no platform that they stand
in the 4 or 8 years, however the hell long it's been. I don't know her. I ain't seen her. I have she ain't done nothing. I
can't have an opinion. There's nothing there.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. So what do you want me to comment on? The nothing she's done? That's, I guess, relevant to my thing, but I don't know how many people want to hear this. Probably none. I ain't fucking with this dude Trump either. He annoys the shit out of me. I personally dislike him. Him and I couldn't be in a Him and I can't be in a room
giant
together.
Fucking meteor, 2024. The Horsemen are riding.
Exactly. And my thing is, here we are again, voting for the lesser of two freaking evils.
Yeah, that's a great way to put it.
We've always done that since
America's got to be tired of having to do this.
Have come in, but for the cackling hen, I want to see her actually put together and conjugate a complete sentence. That's the first thing. And the second thing, I'm listening for what I don't hear, meaning where's the substance from both sides? And I don't care who you vote for, just vote, okay? But I want to see some substance, because I'm tired of dealing with the lesser of two evils always.
I mean,
and I'm voting for the Livingston man.
Thank you. I appreciate
At least I know where he stands. He's standing.
Yeah. Well, so listen, you vote for me, like I'll be offering political favors, man. You want like an ambassadorship to Bermuda? Like what you want?
Yeah. See, but then they'll send a long-haired hippie to attack you.
Oh, of course.
It's okay.
Hey, listen, I carry. I'll shoot back.
There you go.
There you go. Exactly.
Yo,
My kind of president to carry.
If Trump had returned fire at his assailant, that shit would have been sick, dude. Are you kidding me? Like,
it's the Wild Wild West.
He the one, hands down. They wouldn't even have to have an election.
I just capped him from 150 yards away with his Glock. Shut the fuck up.
Exactly. Pull out a Kimber 1911.
Tom will say, "I'm speaking." Yeah.
One thing I know for sure is that after 15 minutes after this live stream ends, the shit show will begin.
Yeah.
And it's definitely going to be that. And you guys already know what Trump is going to say, because he's outlined his vision. I'm just excited to see.
All right,
what the Democrats have.
You guys gotta do a shot every time Trump says beautiful.
He does this beautiful.
Everything we have is so beautiful, Pete. Our webcams, they're so beautiful. They're big. They're so big, and they're so bad. They're made by the most beautiful people in the most beautiful factories.
No, there's another word he uses more than beautiful, but I can't think of it right now. I just blanked out.
Nasty. Everything Trump, break Trump down. There's two kinds of Trump: nasty woman and beautiful. And you're one or the other with him. That's it.
The best ever. I can't do his accent. I just, by the way, there's a TikToker who literally has his voice down perfect, but he looks nothing like Trump. He's like a little skinny blonde kid, and you wouldn't think that voice would come out of him, and then he pops off, and you're like, holy cow, dude, you're like a living AI of the Trump.
I was a big Trump guy when he first came out, like his first album there, that 2016 joint.
Yeah,
his first album.
Fire. But then he fell off for a minute there. He had to go work it out. Had creative differences with the entire fucking world.
No doubt.
And then I thought that his near unalived experience, I thought that was going to change him. I thought he was going to turn all sage on us. Like, you know what? No, right back on his bullshit. And I was like, oh, come on, man.
This is his comeback tour.
He could have. I hate to be like, he could have really capitalized on that, because he had all media in his pocket. Everybody was like, oh shit, that's fucked up. But then he came back like on that asshole shit. He could have become more statesman-like. And listen, Trump, we know who you are, man. We get it. We know you fucking tough guy and shit. But maybe grow up a little bit, mature into the thing. Are you a bottle of wine, or are you like fucking moonshine, dude? Come on, man.
I wonder if we're going to see something different in the debate. I mean, it was different. His first debate with Biden in 20 was drastically different. And granted, they had muted mics, no audience, the whole 9 yards. There were different rules.
Right.
Now, the same rules applying to him and Kamala. I'm wondering, because here's my thought. The man almost got shot in the head a month and a half ago. I don't know about y'all. I would have a little bit of time for reflection if, I was this big, powerful billionaire and a, 57-cent bullet zinged my ear and almost took me into the afterlife.
Some punk ass kid
from some doofus who then got deleted by the sniper.
Yep.
And quite robustly deleted, I might add. And then they cremated him, but that's a whole nother question.
And trained him.
Yeah, I don't know what's. Well, they didn't train him properly because
nobody's always come out the woodwork with the $10,000 Daniel Defense killer ass.
Of course.
You start asking questions like, why?
I just want his encrypted crypto account. I just want one of the three.
Dude, we can split it 4 ways and do very well, I'm sure.
Yes.
But I'm wondering if we're going to see a slightly different man, since someone almost erased him a month and a half ago.
I had hoped that we don't take shots at people, physical shots. Okay, you write a diss track, all right? You don't
have a debate
do that
with
shit.
them.
Everybody knows that gunfire is pussy shit. Unless it's in a war, and that is not one.
No.
I sincerely hoped. I was like, love me or hate me for it, but I was like, I wonder if this will like slow Trump's roll a little bit.
Well, that's what I'm thinking. Maybe he's going to be a little more introspective, because a little more statesman-like when he says, wow, I pissed people off so much that this little heathen tried to end me. And who knows? I don't know. It's purely conjecture on my part.
Sure. At the RNC, he was definitely seemed like a changed individual when he accepted the nomination. He was much more statesman-like. But after that, it like Pete said, it was like a month ago that this guy almost lost his life, and how quickly we forget that a month ago this guy almost lost his life. It's out of the news. Nobody's talking about it anymore.
Forgot it.
They flushed it out of the news cycle, and now it's brushed under the table. But nevertheless, it still happened. Yeah. And
so, what about the impact of RFK endorsing him?
I think that was big. I think that was
I think
really
so
big.
too.
Because I think together those two are a house cleaning machine.
They're a disruption.
Yeah,
I
they're
really
total
do.
disruption. Yes.
Yeah. So I think we're going to see a lot more fake polls in the future. I think maybe the stock market gets a little more volatile tomorrow after this debate.
So I had a theory. I don't know if you guys follow, there are a couple of creators who do like election forecasting, and some of them are very well done.
Mhm.
And one guy started following the stock market in Vegas. And his theory is people who have money on the line, wealth on the line, are going to really do their homework more.
Yeah.
And following those two, he had Trump at 310 electoral votes,
Mhm.
saying that he was going to swing multiple states because, and again, it's not scientific, right? But the
Right.
polls we found are false. I mean, they gave
Oh yeah.
Hillary an 89% chance of winning, and that was quite a blowout back then. I thought it was interesting because a lot of people are voting with their wallet, they're voting with their bank account.
Yep.
Absolutely.
So I couldn't agree more. I think, maybe the people, when they do these polls, they reach out to folks who actually have the time to register to be a part of a poll,
Yeah.
not the guy working 80-hour weeks to pay the second mortgage on his house because his kid got sick. That's
He's
not the
pissed
guy
off.
they're going to call.
He's headed to the polls. He's pissed off and headed to the polls.
You're absolutely
Yeah.
right. I have repeatedly debunked the idea of polls. You first have to start at the kind of person that answers the phone and then actually conducts
Participates.
the poll.
Yeah.
To the questions they ask folks are almost like they're so kind of like leading
Yeah.
that like
Yeah.
you're kind of you're in some cases, you're almost not forced, but you're coerced into answering a certain way because it's like, well, I mean, do you like puppies or genocide? You're like,
Yeah.
Are you more likely to, less
Puppies
likely
or
to, or the least likely to vote for?
and they're like, they present you with outrageous polar opposites, and you're forced to choose one of them. And then they're
Yeah.
like, America has spoken. No, like 300 boomers that actually answered the phone did.
Yeah.
True
That's
story.
how that works, man.
Yep.
I think they're
Polls can be indicative though, but there's always so many of them. For every poll that says this, there's another poll that said that, and like a fucking polls, man. And then, as Pete said, that silent majority. I know that's probably some dog whistle going to get us fucking banned or something, but it's the people that don't fucking pull their shit out in public and talk all about it that actually make the difference.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Of course, you're going to hear the loudest person on
Yo,
each
for
side,
sure.
and then there's everybody else.
for sure.
Fuck a silent majority, the forgotten majority, the unnoticed majority. That's what it is.
So I'll lead with that, Livingston, man. The forgotten. Tomorrow is the anniversary of September 11th, and never forget what happened. Never let your guard down.
Yep.
If you see something, say something. Make a phone call. Don't be the punk that says, "Oh man, I saw those guys just before it happened." But do it, man. Fucking make a call. We live in truly dangerous times, I believe.
Yeah.
And I did a live stream last night about, looking out for each other, checking in on each other. This is the same thing. This is the exact same thing. Pay attention. Keep your head on a swivel. Don't get sucked into your cell phone when you're out in public,
Right.
because real people want to do us real harm. I don't know who they are. I don't know where they are, and I hope we never find out. But we got to stay vigilant, guys. We can't walk around with our heads in the sand and say it's never going to happen here again. Be vigilant, guys. Be vigilant. Pay attention, and never forget the folks who lost their lives on September 11th. And say a prayer for them tomorrow. That's being from New York, it's near and dear to my heart, and we'll never forget it here. So I won't let you either. I won't let you.
They're not going to let you. Tomorrow, when you open your Facebook feed, you're going to get about 6 thumb scrolls in. You're going to be like, Jesus Christ.
You're not wrong.
Yep.
You're not wrong.
Yeah. Okay. Oh, is today a thing? I don't know. I'm starting to wonder. Is something happened today? Because everybody's going, oh my God, praise everybody trying to. And you know why? You know why? Not because they give a shit about 9/11 and the people that gave their lives and lost their lives that day, but because they're trying to get likes.
Yeah.
They just want to get those reactions, those comments. Everybody said, "Oh, prayers."
I just want everybody to remember.
Prayer emoji. Remember what? I was 18 years old. I'll tell you what.
Yeah.
We're going to do this. Let's do this. Where were you on 9/11? That's where we're going tonight. I woke up to my phone ringing. It was a phone attached to the wall with a cord.
An actual old phone.
Lost all the.
Wait,
all
did
the,
it have the little dial?
No, it did indeed have
Touch
push
tone.
buttons.
Touch tone.
It was
But it
push
also-
button. No, you had an upgrade.
No, but it did pulse. It went. And it dialed in, but it did have push buttons. All right, so a phone's ringing. I have the day off. Me and my buddy worked at the same place, and for whatever reason, we both had the day off, which never happened. The only time we ever had the same day off was this day, Tuesday. It was a beautiful Tuesday, September 11th, 2001. I wake up, the phone's ringing at 10 o'clock. I'm like, the fuck, man? Yo, I answer the phone. I'm like, the fuck you want, dude? Bro, I laugh because it sounds outrageous. Bro, we're under attack by terrorists. I'm coming to pick you up and we're going to drive around so they can't hit us. What?
Yeah,
Gets
and you're
there.
like, what were you drinking, sir? Yeah.
Right.
What? He's like, turn on your fucking television. And I turn on the television. By this time, the second plane had already hit. I don't know if you kids weren't there. A first plane hit the World Trade Center. Nobody knew what happened. Is this an accident? Like, what the fuck? Holy cow!
Malfunction. Yeah.
The World Trade Center, and then that second one flew in, and every single person knew what was up.
Yep.
We just got we've been attacked. This was deliberate. So I watched this in real time as I turn on my television on a beautiful Tuesday at 18 years old. There it is. The World Trade Center's in flames. And then I watched them both fall down, killing and maiming everything in its path. And New York City, the entire thing had a pall of smoke over it. And so we drove around in the shit box station wagon. It was a Pontiac Sunfire station wagon with a V8
God,
engine.
I remember those, dude.
Bro. And since we had backed into a dumpster earlier in our career, it didn't have a back window, so it sucked all the exhaust fumes into it. And we drove around all back roads of Columbia County all day because we thought like the terrorist was flying planes out the fucking sky. We worked at a nursing home and the residents were anxious. They were like, what if they hit us? And we're like, I'm pretty sure they're not going to hit the group, the nursing home, Phyllis, but we got ways of dealing with that. Okay.
Yeah.
But that day sucked, man. And I'll tell you what else September 11th was. That was the day everything changed. If you were an American living the American dream at that time, you got kicked right in your balls and punched right in your face at the same time. And it all changed. Everything that is today happened because of that day.
9/11. 100%. I couldn't disagree.
And that's why everybody knows everything about everybody because of the Patriot Act. Which legally allowed the United States to spy on every American citizen, and we had nothing to do with 9/11. Well, some of us had nothing to do with 9/11.
Yeah,
correct.
The four of us on this panel, as far as anyone's concerned, had nothing to do with this.
Lower your voice, dude. Like, you're gonna think it's me.
So September 11th, when it all went down, I was working for a commercial plumbing company in their main headquarters, which was right in front of the air traffic control tower for Albany International Airport. I remember it getting, it was so loud in this place all the time. We all wore earplugs because you could feel the jets take off, right? And I was working there, and I just remember it being quiet. It was like really eerily quiet, and I couldn't understand why. I didn't quite get it. And then all of a sudden, the sheriff's department rolled up and said, guys, you're going home. Have a great day. Get home safe. You got to go. And they were closing the area around the airport. The air traffic control tower was in our backyard. And the president of the company came in, and he wheeled in one of those TV sets and turned it on for everybody. And he was like, I don't know what's going on. We got to go. We got to leave now. But this is what's happening, guys. You've been back here in the shop. You don't know what's going on. I had to come and tell you what's happening. But we have to go now. The sheriff's department wants us to go. So we got in our cars and we drove home. And I remember the next day driving back to work and seeing everybody outside with their American flags and things like that. It was really heartwarming to see everybody come together. But it sucks that it takes such a heinous act to bring everybody together. It was a wild day, man. It was a wild day, and it still get a little emotional about it. It was that was really, really rough for our country. And I hope we never go there again, man. Really, honestly.
Oh God, I hope not. I don't know if the current society could handle that.
Very true. Very true. Livingston, man, with these cameras. Look
He's
at him
having
go.
fun.
Oh my God.
Shoot.
I caught you monologuing.
Oh, he caught me.
So
Well, here you.
September 10th, I was on an offshore platform, and there was a helicopter waiting for the crew, and I was getting paperwork done so I can get the hell out because I had this equipment I had to account for and sign off, and explosive stuff, radiation, all sorts of electronics. And one of my crewmen was like, "No, you're not taking off without the engineer." And so I had hella great crew guys. These were all Cajun boys. They're like, "Nope, nope, we're not leaving him behind." So he's having this big discussion with the pilot, and here I come running up the ramp, and I throw my bag in, and I jump in. The pilot's like, "You're all assholes," And we spin up, and we go. This was offshore Louisiana. We land, little heliport, and unload all our crap and get this dirty look from the pilot, throw our stuff in the pickups, go home. And I wake up, I took a shower, wake up late the next morning because I was, my sleep schedule was garbage. I got up at 8, 9, which in Texas time was everything is already going down in New York. And the kids are watching Bear in the Big Blue House. You remember that? And the stupid Bear's up there, and I'm like, yeah, whatever, Bear and Barney or whatever was playing. And then I'm making coffee, and I hear my wife go, "Oh shit, babe, get over here." And I run over, and she said, "New York's on fire." I'm like, "Wait, what?" Because that was not like the kind of joke she'd normally make. And there's the world, one building is on fire, and we're like, well, that's a hell of an accident. Like, that's a big ass building. How'd the pilot not see that? And here comes the other one, whack. And found out later my sensei from my childhood back in New York was a homicide cop. He was in Tower 1 when the Tower 2 came down. They tried to get out of Tower 1, and he was in the tunnels when Tower 1 came down, because they came down in reverse order, if I recall correctly.
Yep.
And I got a call from one of the guys back in Queens saying, yeah, he got hurt. He had concrete fell on him, and the SWAT and some of the firefighters ran back down to get a few of the cops that got hurt, trying to get civilians out. And they got him out. He was injured.
Wow.
But yeah, had I missed that helicopter that night, they shut everything down. There were no boats, no helicopter, nothing.
Yeah.
The guys who came in that morning when everything went down said there were F-16s flying over our helicopter. Like, if we'd have deviated at all, he said they'd have splashed us in the Gulf of Mexico. And I would have been stuck offshore for about 2 weeks after that.
Wow.
Wow. I at that time I was teaching at an adult college, and I was getting dressed ready to go to work. And because at that time I'm the guy that sleeps with the TV on, and CNN was on, and I woke up, and the first tower is on fire. So I'm standing there, I'm like, what just happened here? And literally watched the second plane hit the second tower. I was like, wow. So I get dressed and I drive to the school and get in there. And I'm, me, I'm thinking, because a lot of our students are legal immigrants. And I'm just looking around like, okay, which one of y'all's get ready to go berserk and do something? And the school owner came up to me and said, in 10 minutes, we're closing the school and sending everybody home. So keep your eyes open and peeled. I said, okay, cool. So because I was that guy, and I did that, and they closed the school, sent everybody home. And we sat there and was watching the TV when the towers fell. And I was like, that's odd how they fell.
Yeah.
And I just left it at that. You know, at that time I was like, did they demo the buildings? But I'm sitting here watching this and really couldn't believe what I'm actually seeing happen.
Yeah.
And then it was like, our country is under attack. So now I'm making sure everybody is where they're supposed to be and home. But I will never forget that day. And yeah. Jay Creature, no, not an adult film.
For our, I'm going to go with our generation. Although I think probably the youngest on this panel, and I don't mean any disrespect by that. But for my generation, if I may, then that was our JFK thing. When you ask the older folks, everybody, the same thing we all just did. If you saw 9/11, you remember where you were, what was going. You remember the entire day.
Yeah.
You don't remember what you did yesterday. You remember that day like it was yesterday. Like we had that, and that set the precedent for everything seen here, folks.
That's right.
I think so.
The forever wars, the blame game. You just blame the other culture, the other side for everything.
The propaganda. I remember, and they're going to hate me for this, but I remember watching a news conference and this guy from the Pentagon shows up and he's all, and we're going to start doing a disinformation campaign where we start, to paraphrase, lying to everybody to get them to believe what we want them to believe. And then 2 days later, that same guy came on television and was like, due to extensive backlash, we're going to not do the disinformation thing. That was the disinformation. Yep.
And to this day, they learned that what we can use an event like this, or I'm going to stop short of saying some of these events actually happen. All right. Now it's wild conspiracy conjecture, but that they can use a perceived event to
manipulate society.
Yes. And control your emotions and
they create a narrative that causes decisions to be made based on a narrative without any critical analytics behind it.
Yeah.
And you know, that absolutely, I would agree. I mean, and then look how we left the very country we went after, the mastermind, you know, Afghanistan, almost 20 years later to the year. And we left them with what, $500 million, whatever many millions in equipment. I mean, they're parading it.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. That's crazy.
We gave them an army.
And they're sharing their equipment with their enemies.
Well, they already had the army. We just
trained it and equipped.
Well, we definitely equipped them as well as the United States military. That's for sure.
Yes.
It sucks. It sucks. I mean, I guess if you're gonna leave all that shit behind, the Marines would just blow everything the fuck up, right? They'd dig a big ass hole, throw everything in it, the Humvees, the whole 9 yards, the helicopters, park them on top, and they would just blow the whole fucking thing up to make sure nobody got any of that shit.
Yep.
But instead, they can literally overthrow the Afghani government with the equipment that we left behind, and that seems to be kind of what's going on over there now. So
what Afghani government? The Taliban, the ones we gave the guns to, they are the fucking Afghani government. Good job on that one too. Stand up for women's rights, be loud about it at home, but look the other way when your good buddy Afghanistan, makes women wear the thing
hijabs.
Yeah. I am ignorant Westerner, and I don't believe that women should have to cover themselves from head to toe because I have impulses and then project onto them. That's what that really is.
Yeah. Sad but true. Sad but true.
You
know, I wore a skirt and fishnets to school once. I was the original.
Okay, we that's too much information.
I thought he was going to say he wore a kilt.
You know what I said? They said, you got to go home. They said, you got to go home. You got to change your clothes. And I said, why? They said, you're distracting the boys. I said, what the fuck's wrong with that?
That's like a $56 billion lawsuit nowadays if they sent you home for wearing a skirt.
They did.
And fishnets.
They said, absolutely not, Mr. Livingston. And I was like, it's ma'am.
Livingston, ma'am.
It's Livingston, ma'am. But
you're like Klinger from MASH.
Oh,
but I
man.
perceive that same attitude as well. If you like, it's always these people can't stand the trans or the gays who also apparently hate the Muslims and the Taliban. I'm like, y'all should like sit down and talk, though. You got the same, it's the same viewpoint, dog. What's up?
And it's off the rails, folks.
And
You
it's
knew,
off the rails.
Yep.
you knew.
It was coming. I was just holding on in my rail car. I was waiting for it to go off the rail.
Sound off. Pete is war. Trent is pestilence. That's why he keeps afflicting everyone.
That's right.
Mike
That's
is
right.
famine, and of course I'm death. So when this live stream cuts out dead, is my fault. It probably happened.
He killed it. He killed it.
As long as
You mean-
nothing blows up in your neighborhood, I had nothing
Yeah.
to do with it. So
That's right.
And I mean, and that's just it. So the Livingston man is some kind of woke communist for just advocating some shit like, why don't you just shut up and like be nice to people because you don't walk in their shoes? And they're like, that's a communist woke fucking viewpoint, Livingston
That's
man.
right.
And I don't like your tone. And I'm like, you said everything I needed to know about you, though.
Mm.
I don't care. What if I don't care what kind of people you are? Are you a people? Are you a homo sapien? Are you a hetero sapien? I don't even give a fuck about pronouns. Okay. Some people use pronouns. They can speak for self because don't. Okay.
Speak for self, because don't.
You see what I did there?
Yeah, yeah.
And that's the thing. And
I got
everybody's lost in this right, left, center, fascist, communist, whoever, every fucking stupid pronoun that you call yourself, this box you let them put you in and then accepted as yourself. Well, people, man. And I don't know where millions of years ago, and when we hunted dinosaurs, that was lost in us somewhere. We got to bring it back, everybody.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
this pertains to politics because this blame game, hate game, everybody does it because you're trying to one up the guy before you, but it's never touting the successes of your candidate. It is always shitting on the failures of his opponent, their opponent.
Yeah.
And I want to hear, what's your boy or girl or anything in between going to do this good? I don't care what they tweeted 20 years ago. What the fuck did you tweet 20 years ago, dickhead? Some stupid shit, I bet. Right.
our
So
tweet
that's-
was graffiti, man. We had no tweeting.
it turns the entire freaking thing turns into let them is
No,
without
the
sin
Livingston
cast
man
the first
doesn't
stone.
think you're real. Yeah, it's okay. The Livingston man doesn't think you're real. I'm sorry, but you are real. Okay?
No, the dog
I
is
just
real.
need you to-
Ohio is not. You're the one who's lied to. Now you're a crisis actor.
You live in the upside down. Now you're a crisis actor.
Everybody's
But
What's
folks,
the crisis though? Unless Cole farts.
Ohio,
He's a big
Pete.
boy.
Ohio is the crisis.
Ohio's the crisis.
Now we're a crisis. Okay.
I thought Los Angeles was the crisis.
Yeah. That's on the verge too. That's like New York is stand, man. That's a whole nother dumpster fire. But if, for you folks heading into the debate tonight, what was the Livingston man drinking game? If Trump says
beautiful,
then you got to take yourself a drink.
So
And
beautiful.
I apologize for your alcohol poisoning that you're about to receive.
I mean, to be fair to every
Don't do this at home.
drink every time
No, don't.
Kamala Harris just doesn't make sense. All right, and we'll make this fair.
But then
and
you
I-
just drink the whole time. That's
Yeah,
pretty
the
much
game's
been the
over.
beautiful
You're
and
going
nasty.
to die.
Just put the keg in your
some
mouth.
reason on the night of September 10th, alcohol poisoning spiked in the United States.
Drinking game.
I can hear the lawyers now. Yeah, so be careful if you're playing along with the Livingston man drinking game at home. Drink responsibly, folks. Drink responsibly.
Considering like I should probably preemptively call in. I'm
if
like,
you-
I'm not going to make it in tomorrow.
If you play that game, I will come visit you.
He's going to stick around for like 3 days too. You ain't going to be on your feet till like the weekend, dude.
That's right. That's right. You will ruin the rest of your week. Don't do that. Don't do that. Gentlemen, I want to thank you for joining us tonight. We've torn through the
This was
hour
great.
already.
God.
I know, flying through it.
I love how fast they go. I feel like time flies when you're having fun, right?
Absolutely. Great company. Great conversation. Really appreciate you guys joining us. And I believe next week, the Horsemen will ride on that way, Vision Preparedness's channel, and new
Hey,
topics, new conversation, same old friendly faces. Thank everybody for coming out, man. We really appreciate you. Make sure that you are subscribed to the Livingston Man, the Roaming Prepper, and Vision Preparedness on YouTube, on Rumble, anywhere that we dwell. Track us down. We're there.
Yes.
We appreciate y'all. We're going to hit you with that fire intro as an outro. Y'all have a great night. Hudson Valley Prepping Survival. We out of here.
Be good.
Apocalypse style, 4 horsemen riding dirty. Got on my left, keep the Glock sturdy. Standing in the kitchen, hunger like a beast. War paint ready, unleash the inner beast. Pestilence drop, spread fear in the streets. Disease hit the block, no dog can compete. Horseman information, skies turning black. Future looking bleak, no turning back. 4 horsemen riding on the edge of night. Chaos in the wake, no end in sight. 4 horsemen bringing dark to the light. End days marching, get ready for the fright. 4 horsemen riding on the edge of night. Chaos in the wake, no end in sight. 4 horsemen bringing dark to the light. End days marching, get ready for the fight.